What's up guys, Paul here from DPTV, and I'm coming at you guys with a episode review of Dragon Ball Super episode 79, Majin Buu versus Basil. So this episode, all in all, was really good. The animation, like, couple times wasn't up to par, but for the majority it was. It reveals a lot more character depth on Basil and on the Supreme Kai and God of Destruction of Universe 9. And everyone can probably agree with me when I say that the Supreme Kai of Universe 9 is a dick. And he's just a straight up dick. Like, the Universe 9 God throughout the episode was showing to be calm, collected, even when the Supreme Kai was, had the thrive to win. He threw the Tree of Might at Basil. The God of Destruction was like, are we really doing this for realsies? I don't think that's correct. Like, he was like, being all calm about it. Whereas the Supreme Kai seems to be like the God of Destruction of the universe. Whereas the God of Destruction seems like the Supreme Kai of that universe. They have like kind of a role reversal, it seems. And he's just like, I really don't like the Supreme Kai of that universe at all. The God of Destruction is really cool, but the Supreme Kai is just not cool in my opinion. So the episode starts leaving off where we left off last time, with Basil kicking Buu up the ass, not literally. And he's like, wow, this guy is really weak. And then the Supreme Kai of Universe 9 is bragging, these are the three strongest warriors of our universe. They're called the Trio de Danger, which is obviously, it's probably going to be like 3 dangers or something like that in the dub eventually, like in 6 years when it gets there. But pretty much they're shown to be the 3 strongest fighters of that universe, which is cool. But at the same time, if this is the 3 strongest that they get, and Majin Buu can beat one of the 3 strongest of that entire universe already, then that universe is probably not going to be a threat for when the 12 universe actually fight, in my opinion. Maybe after this exhibition match it'll train more and get stronger, but if these are the 3 strongest, what is that to say? That's like, you're thinking pretty much that's like the Goku and Vegeta, quote unquote, of that universe. And yeah, and Buu can easily beat them, right? Well, you find out later. So they're acknowledged like that, and then Goku realizes, wait a second, we can't actually sense their energy, and that was cool. And then you see one moment that actually really made me laugh was the Supreme Kai's apprentice. I forgot his name, but the guy who's on screen right now, when he's like, how lame, like a lame ass name or something. The youngest brother is Basil, that's revealed to be, and you see that he is just kicking he's kicking Buu up the ass. Like, he's just destroying Buu in the fight. And I actually really like how cool Basil is, because like I'm just downplaying them because of Goku and Vegeta, right? But in a regular sense, Basil's actually a really strong fighter, and he was seen to be like up to par with Buu for a long time until he got really mad. Even like Buu even acknowledges his strength of how strong he is, and this is the youngest brother, right? Fast forward a bit, Basil continues to beat on, and Buu is just there raffling, laughing his ass off. And then the God of Destruction of Universe 2 is like, why is he happy? He's being beaten. Little does he know that that guy is elastic, and that those kicks aren't even damaging him. And then you see Zeno, the Zeno sounds are like, he's laughing and having fun, like that. And Buu is like a little kid, kind of just like them. And then Buu goes up to Basil and he's like, that was pretty fun, let's do it again. So as you see, he's just having a good time, and the guy's like, he doesn't believe him. He's like, cut the crap, but he's just having a fun time. He gets kicked across the arena, and he's like, that's awesome, more. He just has no mentality, because Hercule had told him before that they were going to play, remember? He's not going into this fight thinking that he's fighting Basil of Universe 9 for the sake of the universe. Remember, they don't even know that. Hercule just told him to participate in this fight. He's playing with you. He's a dog that wants to play. So Buu's mentality isn't like, oh, I'm gonna go in there and fight. His mentality is like, oh, I'm gonna do what Hercule told me and play with the dog. And then they talk about how they can't sense the wolf's energy, which I found interesting, because wolves like to hunt like stealthily, so like them not being able to sense their energy, maybe it's an attribute just to them, or maybe they're hiding their energy. Maybe they have God Key, which is undoubted. I doubt it. I'm guessing it's just because they're wolves, they're using that gimmick that you can't sense their energy, which is interesting, because we're not going to know how strong they actually are. Even though Basil does end up going out all out, in my opinion, in this fight, it's really interesting. And then Goku does say like, oh, it's going to be interesting how strong all the other guys of this universe are, because this is just one piece of the puzzle. Like, this is just one of the universes. There's still 10 other universes that we haven't seen fight, or actually 9, because we already saw Universe 6. And then Goku's explaining how happy he is to be fighting all the other universes, and Beerus is like, this is no time to be excited. And then Goku calls out Universe 9, which I found like this is literally a Goku moment. Goku's like, all right guys, I know you guys are hiding your energy, show us your actual power. And then all the wolves are like, no, he's actually right, Supreme Kai, we are holding back. So then they tell Basil to go all out. Basil goes all out and does an insane attack that blows up the entire arena. Boo is left under the rubble. What happens? Nothing happens. Like in Dragon Ball at all. So Boo is happy, he had a good time. But what happened? Hercule got caught in the crossfire. And when I first saw this, I told David, he's acting. There's no way Hercule actually got hurt. But apparently he actually did. But once Boo sees that Hercule gets hurt, Hercule tells him to beat up the Basil. And what happens? Boo's like, uh-oh, triggered. And Boo gets really mad and starts fighting. And then Basil does his super attack again, kind of like his version of the Kamehameha. Boo deflects it and beats the shit out of, like, completely dismantles Basil. Like, it was like pretty awesome, honestly. Like, we haven't seen a level of fight like this since first of all, since Goku Black versus the fighters. But it's just great to see like this style of fighting again, like the Universe 6 versus 7 kind of style. I love it a lot. But Boo dismantled him, threw him apart. And then when he gets thrown off the arena, Goku's like, yes, we win. Because in the Universe 6 versus 7 tournament, they had the same rules as the Budokai Tenkaichi. But Xeno's like, huh? What do you mean? That's boring as hell. We see Beerus and our Supreme Kai getting extremely happy. And then the Xenos are like, huh? Why is it over? I'm not entertained yet. And the Grand Priest tells them, like, what do you mean that it's over? And then Beerus is like, oh, when he gets thrown out of the arena, that's game. And the Grand Priest is like, no, that's not how it works. And then he gives him this face that's super scary. And then Beerus shuts up because, you gotta respect the Grand Priest because something's wrong. And then Basil gets back in it, which is amazing. Even the fact that Basil was able to live all the attacks that Boo did on him just shows you how powerful he actually is. Then he asks a Supreme Kai for something, and the Supreme Kai throws what seems to be like their version of the Tree of Might. It's like a purple fruit. And it turns Basil like roid raged, and he gets super strong. And then they just continue fighting, and this is a great fight. With the Tree of Might, Basil, I'm gonna call it, versus Boo was a really strong fight. Like, I really like the choreography of the fight, all the Kai Blast and all that good stuff. But eventually, it just grinded out. Boo used a Majin Kamehameha on him, it seems. And he lived. And when I was watching the Kamehameha, I'm like, oh wow, they actually killed Basil before the tournament started. But Basil actually lived, which I found really impressive, to be honest. And then after that, it was too much energy and he gets knocked out. And then the Xenosamas exclaim that it was fun. Therefore, the Grand Priest ends the match. So that was a really good fight between Basil and Boo. And then you find that the next match, Boo regenerates Hercule, of course, and tells him that he wins. And then Hercule hugs him and keeps kissing him and stuff like that, rubbing his face on his face. And then Boo asks for more compliments, which I thought was a really adorable moment there. And then the next fight is explaining to happen. The Universe 9 Supreme Kai is like, oh, do what you gotta do, Lavenda. You need to win the next round. You can kill them if you want, because there's no rules. As long as Xeno-sama is satisfied with the fight, there are no rules. So Lavenda's going in with the mentality to kill. Gohan wanted to fight, because Goku was gonna take the fight, but Gohan's like, I want to show you how strong I've got, and let me fight. So the next fight's about to be Gohan versus Lavenda, and then the episode ends with Gohan having a really, serious face that he's about to kick Lavenda's ass. And overall, this episode was really great. It's really setting a tone for the good fights that should be happening for this arc. And remember, these are just the exhibition matches, so maybe the rules aren't going to be the same for the following arc. Maybe we're not going to only be maybe killing won't be allowed, or maybe they will use Budokai Tenkaichi rules in the actual tournament, but this is just exhibition for the other Xeno-sama to watch. So you do have to keep that in mind. Maybe after this, Xeno-sama could be like, okay, we'll use Budokai Tenkaichi rules, but I doubt it. I completely doubt it, especially with the intro. You see Goku and the alien fighting like all around the arena, so it doesn't really look like they're gonna have similar rules to the Budokai Tenkaichi, but it might happen. And I really do want to stress that this was a really good fight with Goku, with Boo and Basil, and I really am excited for Gohan versus the Lavenda fight coming up. It should have more or less the same choreography, and I just love the transition that Boo was just having fun. Then Hercule gets hurt, he gets triggered and beats the living shit out of Basil. And the fact that Basil even lived, it just shows how strong. Like, if Basil would have gone versus Goku or Gohan, it would have been a completely different fight. It would have been a lot more even, right? But Boo and physical attacks, they just don't go hand in hand. Boo isn't going to lose. I don't think Boo's going to lose any matches. I feel like the only reason he will lose is because he's going to fall asleep or Hercule's not going to be there to help him out, if that makes sense. But let me know what you guys thought about this episode in the comments below. If you guys enjoyed today's video, feel free to hit us with the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, click the bell to be notified of uploads. And if you have any video topics you want us to talk about, let us know in the comments below, and you'll win a shout out if we do your video. So there's an incentive there. Thanks again for watching. My name is Paul, and I'm signing out. Peace out, guys.